Good evening. I'd like to call the City of Oldsmar City Council meeting of June 19th, 2018 to order. If you'll please rise for our invocation and our pledge that will be led by our City Attorney, Mr. Tom Trask.
Our Heavenly Father, we come humbly before you to ask your divine guidance and help in our deliberations at this meeting. Bless the members of the council and the citizens that are present. We pray that our work this evening will find favor in your sight. This we pray.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, and once again, welcome. Our first item on tonight's agenda is our Citizens Open Forum. It allows you to address the City Council. We only have a couple of rules: that you state your name and address clearly for the record, that you keep it to no more than 5 minutes, and you can address anything on tonight's agenda, and there are no public hearing items, so you can address to anything on the council. Having said that, this side of the room. Wow, all you ladies and none of you want to talk?
Wow, I'm so glad you said that.
Don't worry, I'm term limited. This side of the room, the men's side of the room. Oh, Becky's over there. Hi. Not more than 5 minutes worth, you don't.
I'm gonna be nice tonight.
You're always nice.
Becky Afonso, 174B State Street East, Oldsmar. I moved. Good evening, Mayor and council members. As the newly elected president of the Friends of the Oldsmar Library, I wanted to take this opportunity to introduce our new officers. We have tonight, and please come up, Barbara Drabaugh, she's our vice president, and Felicia Cubas, our treasurer, and a member at large, Anna Mugado. Two members that couldn't make it this evening, Beth Bleich and Stephen Lavelle. We've just been elected. We've had our first meeting. It was extremely productive, and all of us are looking forward to serving the library as the Friends of the Oldsmar Library. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for your...
Congratulations.
Anybody else on this side of the room? Yep.
You're not one of the...
I was wondering the same thing.
Yeah, really.
At large.
Yeah, right, large, just large. I'm Forrest Williams, 608 Shore Drive East. I'm here at the request of somebody else, actually, and she wanted me to present this to the council. I guess everyone knows what happened to Judy and Gator now at Brookdale, Beckett Lake. They had a kind of some medical emergencies, and one day you're happy and gay, and the next day, bingo, you're a prisoner of the American medical system. But they're getting along pretty well. They really like the facility, and they just had their 52nd wedding anniversary, and the staff over there did a bang-up job, I guess. So they're real pleased. But they, I think Judy had mentioned before when she was here that they were really disappointed that they were unable to find a facility in Oldsmar. And I've never looked for assisted living in Oldsmar, so I don't know. But according to them, there's really not anything available here. And so, of course, they both like Oldsmar. They want to live in Oldsmar, but they're having to live in Clearwater, which presents a problem because neither one of them now is allowed to drive. So just getting back over here is an issue. Basically, somebody has to go pick them up, and they don't really want to call on their friends to do that. So anyway, Judy got me on the phone the other day, and she said, I want you to present something to the city council. And I feel a little uncomfortable doing this, but I know every time I call, she's going to ask me whether I did this. So here we go. Her suggestion is that the city be more proactive in trying to arrange such a facility like they have at Brookdale. And it's a continual living type situation, independent living, assisted living, skilled nursing, and then all the way to hospice. And, but her suggestion was that, for example, the land that was to go to the ballpark, perhaps that could go to somebody like Brookdale would purchase that and build an assisted living facility. And I know those of us that are older, I mean, this isn't unique to Judy and Gator. I mean, there's been a number of couples as we get older in Oldsmar and we have to go someplace, and we find out we have to move to Hillsborough or someplace. And I know Jerry can probably name a whole bunch of them that's happened to. So anyway, if Judy asked you, I made the presentation.
Tell both Judy and Gator they're still residents of this city and will always be.
Tell them you said that.
Yeah, and I have to think, and I definitely feel the concern. I would assume, and probably Al or Tom or Marie, I mean, I think it would have to do with zoning and land use, first of all, and then I assume it's a market-driven thing because that's a private corporation that does that. You know, obviously, we would be willing to work with anybody that might be looking to do something like that. Is that pretty?
That's correct.
Okay, so I mean, it's kind of like, at one point we had no hotels and then all of a sudden we have 5. It's kind of a market-driven, and there's one, I think, right there at Curlew and McMullen. Isn't that a similar facility? So, I mean, the market has to kind of demand some of that stuff. So, but are they able to have visitors or?
Yes, I would call first.
Okay.
He's having seizures and he is taking some medication that makes him groggy.
Yeah.
So, call in the afternoon is a good time to call.
Okay.
Room 244.
Oh,
I'm sure they know who they are.
Tell Gator that the mayor is going to finally visit him and finally home.
With the poem in hand.
He's got it. I think he's got it.
We never heard it.
Never heard it.
What the hell is that? I can't even think of how long ago I wrote that thing.
Can you read it now? Didn't write
A little
it.
suspicious to me, Mr. Mayor. Oh, come on, Mayor, just make one up.
It's roses are red, violets are blue. I'll blank out the rest just for you.
He is definitely on term limit right now.
It's on our website, right?
Mr.
Kathy?
Mayor, we should say one thing as it relates to the ballpark land that Judy was referring to, and just that the city doesn't own that land. That's not ours.
Yeah, that's a Swift Mud situation, but we hear them, you know, and we'll definitely take that into consideration if we have people approaching us. So, anybody else like to address the council? Seeing no one, we'll close the citizens open forum. Quick mayor's minute, some recap items, and then some upcoming events. This was pretty good. The Mayor's Council of Pinellas County, which I'm the president this year, we had guest speaker Senator Jeff Brandis, who did a recap. We're also looking forward to, in August, our meeting with State Representative and future Speaker of the House, Chris Sprawls. So a lot of good dialogue as it relates to home rule and somewhat the process and the difference between the process here at local government and the difference between state government and federal government, and the things that go on. A lot of us have had conversations with these guys, and it's a different animal when you get up there. So we're looking forward to having Chris Sprawls there. And with him being the Speaker of the House at some point, that works out well for Pinellas County.
He moved up quick.
Yeah, he did move up quick. So council work session, June 8th was our capital improvement plan. That went well. Oldsmar Disc Golf Gold Rush Tournament. That was Saturday, June 9th and the 10th. We had a great turnout, 33 pros. Sunday brought 43 amateurs for the tournament, and the launch of the gold level tees, and it's at Sheffield Park if you ever get a chance to go down there. I think my disc is still in the creek. Candidate forum, this was kind of interesting. That was this past Tuesday, June 12th. Thanks to the Upper Tampa Bay Chamber of Commerce, we had Hillsborough County representative, Pinellas County representative, some people that are running for state legislature. It got a little bit heated at the House level. So at any rate, make sure that whatever you do, you go out and vote when that time comes. Upper Tampa Bay Chamber Awards and Installation, that was this past Friday. Congratulations to our Fire and EMS Chief, Dean O'Neill, who received the Upper Tampa Bay Chamber of Commerce Lifetime Achievement Award for his 25 years of service to the community. And welcome up to Upper Tampa Bay new chairman of the board, Jason Sanders. So congratulations to Dean. While we're on the Dean theme, upcoming events is Chief O'Neill's retirement reception. That is at the Fire Rescue for a retirement reception for Dean O'Neill on the 29th, 1 to 4 at Station 54. Project Pop Drop, the third annual Project Pop Drop has begun, bringing canned goods, non-perishable food items, toiletries, gently used clothing, Walmart gift cards to City Hall or the Chamber of Commerce. There are actually 43 businesses in the Oldsmar and Upper Tampa Bay area that are participating in, and it is going gangbusters. We're having to empty bins a couple of times a week. So no city council meeting on July 3rd. Holiday closure, reminder that the offices and libraries and facilities will be closed on July 4th in observance of Independence Day. Will resume regular hours on the 5th. Artist reception and opening exhibit Tuesday, July 17th, 5 to 7, City Hall. Welcome artist Pamela Joy Troe and her exhibit. Light refreshments will be served. If you need more information about what's going on in the city, myoldsmar.com. With that, we'll move on to the next item, the consent docket. We have a couple items. Approved to advertise 2018-008 RFQ survey services. Request approval to authorize city manager to advertise for 2018-009 ITB re-irrigation project phase 1 piping replacement. Also request approval for single source purchase of Neptune Pro Read Touch read and radio read meters and registers 2018-011 SS. Approve the payment to legal counsel and approve the tentative agenda for July 17th, 2018. If nobody wishes to pull anything, I need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Passes 5-0. Next is the presentation of the Employee Service Awards. Mr. Al Braithwaite will be doing that.
I was waiting for it.
Oh, come on, Burley. Let's set it up at least. Anyway, our award winner tonight is Stephen Everett.
Stephen hasn't changed.
Hasn't changed.
We go to their personnel files and we take the picture that they had when they first started and we try and embarrass them with it. Mine is going to be a real problem because my 20th is next year. Something. Well, first of all, congratulations, Stephen. There's a little token of our appreciation and your plaque for 10 years. And as everybody knows, I have a few comments. Can I use your middle name for this one? Sure. Okay.
Do you have a microphone?
I'm here to present the 10-year service award to Stephen Tyler Everett. I'm assuming, like most of you aging rockers, that Stephen's parents must have been Aerosmith fans. Oh, good. I'm glad that worked. I was worried about that.
Microphone.
Microphone.
Mike?
Oh, come on. Listen, what? You really think I need a mic?
No, not that one. Just use the other one and put it up in front of you if you want.
It's for the thousands of people at home.
Yeah, just so the audio picks it up.
Seriously? People really can't hear me?
Not in the audio.
I'm not buying that. Anyway, we're here to celebrate Stephen's 10-year anniversary of service to the city of Oldsmar. Stephen is originally from Virginia and graduated with his bachelor's degree from Alabama. We won't hold that against him. His date of hire was June 16th, 2008. Stephen's another one of our employees that you don't see around much unless you need something from planning. Trust me, everybody inside the organization knows him very well. I'm going to explain that statement, but it will be obvious. Stephen consistently does more than he is asked to do, makes himself available to any and all who need something, no matter what it is. He's dependable, reliable, technically brilliant, and goes out of his way to help anyone and everyone who asks. We do have a large all-star team, but Stephen is definitely on it. In what has now become an apparent custom around here, we stole Stephen from the city of Clearwater. That habit has become quite common these days. We hired Felicia from Clearwater. We hired Alexis from Clearwater. Heck, even I worked for the city of Clearwater briefly back in the 90s. Stephen has been promoted to the position of principal planner this past year, and he came to us as a planner. The position was created to acknowledge all of the extra things he does and that all the extra things he's involved himself in because of his own initiative. His cooperative spirit tends to go unnoticed, yet the many examples of his doing more than required are well documented throughout his evaluations and in the positive comments received from many citizens he has helped in the community. He has made himself our technical expert in the following areas. This won't mean much to many of you. It means nothing to me, other than I'm grateful that he is this. Planning and floodplain regulations, CRS, which stands for Community Rating System, has to do with flooding impacts and process, which includes recertification, which is a pain. Local mitigation strategy, Stephen represents the city in the Pinellas County Local Mitigation Strategy Work Group. Code writing and amendments, development review, development agreements, land development code amendments, land use and zoning changes, site plan amendments and variances, FEMA regulations, which are ever changing, annexations, to name a few. Stephen is our primary point of contact and primary reviewer for all building and planning applications. He works with applicants on the quality of their submissions, assisting them in understanding and meeting the requirements of the entire process from start to finish. He coordinates with the Pinellas County building official on land development regulations, town center regulations, and permits as needed. He contributes as a backup to the code enforcement function on an as-needed basis. Stephen did this willingly without being asked, and in 2013, he won an award for that spirit of cooperation when we did not have a code enforcement officer for a lengthy period of time. He still provides assistance when asked, another sign of his willingness to serve and how he consistently steps up. Stephen, along with Mandy, have become the go-to members of the Planning and Redevelopment Department in dealing with other internal departments, which is vital to our continued smooth operation. He performs big project research for the department, and he maintains a certified floodplain manager designation. He was single-handedly responsible for the first Florida Division of Emergency Management floodplain mitigation grant ever awarded to the city of Oldsmar, and I happen to know that that process took about 2 years of his professional life to accomplish. Don't do it again. He has written multiple grants for the city, the aforementioned flood mitigation being one of them, and the safe routes to schools being another. No one asked him to do either of those grants. Stephen consistently does more than he is asked to do, and has done so since the day he arrived. He's one of the few employees, and I do mean few, I think there might be one other, maybe two, that have won both the Brunson-Streckengost Award and the City Manager Impact Award in 2015 and 2013, respectively. That's rarefied air. The Brunson-Streckengost for his flood mitigation grant work that I mentioned before, and the City Manager Impact Award for his success in taking on the extra duties of being the code enforcement officer when we needed him. While reviewing his file, I did notice also that he is very well educated in both computer science and in database management. I would feel bad in asking him to do more than he already does, but I'm going to tuck those two little facts away in my head for possible future use. Stephen, thank you so much for your dedication to this community and for all that you've done for this organization. We're lucky to have you as a vital member of this great team, and equally as lucky to know that you choose to make this community your home. Congratulations on your 10-year anniversary, and we very much look forward to what the next 10 will bring. Thank you. He doesn't want to speak, I asked him.
Flip it.
Oh, I can hide behind now. Congratulations. Our next two items will be done by Councilmember Saraki. The first is the Council Manager Award for June 2018.
Thank you, Mayor. This quarter, the award is going to be presented to the Women's Club. Before I come down there, I have a lot to talk about. The Women's Club of Oldsmar was established May 20th, 1919. They're going to be 100 years old in 11 months. They are the oldest civic organization in the city. The first meetings were held in private homes. Eventually, 207 Exeter became their home, which is kitty corner to this building right outside. The Women's Club deeded the building to the city in 1997 so that the city could preserve it. The Women's Club is a non-for-profit organization. Their purpose is to help make Oldsmar a better community. They boost the community in several ways. Oldsmar Elementary School adopts a class every single year. participate in a drive to collect school supplies, usually donating 2 carloads of supplies. Oldsmar Cares started the professional closet to provide gently used clothes for people returning to the workforce. St. Petersburg College Foundation started the professional closet, raises funds and donates $1,000 to the St. Pete College Foundation every year. Supports the American Red Cross Relay for Life, aid to family in need at the holidays with meals, toys for children, all donations from members. Those are just the current efforts. Throughout the years, the Women's Club has contributed to the community by sharing the first library in Oldsmar, rolling Band-Aids with the Red Cross during World War II, raising money for other organizations including Seacoast Bird Sanctuary, Oldsmar Firefighters, Oldsmar Veterans Memorial, Boy Scouts, American Eagle Scouts. Today, the Women's Club is 25 members strong and growing. They meet the second Tuesday of the month at 7 p.m. through September through May. Jerry Beaverland, an honorary member of the Women's Club, summed up the story of the Oldsmar Women's Club best in this writing in one of his books. The Women's Club of Oldsmar continues the tradition that started in 1919. Dedicated women serving their community out of the Little White House on Exeter Street. A great big thanks to the ladies that make up the Women's Club for their continued dedication to our community. The Oldsmar City government also must be thanked for being farsighted in saving that part of Oldsmar's history, the Little White House. And of course, we need to thank and remember those first early women benefactors who started the Women's Club, because of all of them, Ari Old's grand historical tradition lives on. Very nice, Jerry. The Women's Club was so helpful and instrumental in ensuring success with the centennial and helping the Historical Society with the Jolly Trolley this year and all kinds of events. It gives me great pride to present this award to Mary Ann Cruz.
Use the mic.
Yes. Mary Ann is currently the new president of the Women's Club, and I would like her to introduce all the people that are here tonight, because it is really important that this is the first time this award has been presented to the Women's Club in 100 years, and I'm honored to give you guys, this is well-deserved. And Mary Cruz, would you introduce everybody? And you look great. Don't worry. Great job. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'd like to introduce a new board to come up, please. Vice President isn't here. She ended up being in Vermont and getting stranded. So she finally came back today. It was Linda Anderson. Our secretary is Linda Wells. Our treasurer is Jessie Opid. And Barbara Drawbaugh is what they used to call the correspondence secretary. We call her our sunshine lady. Would you please come up here? Prior President Bonnie Teal and Vice President, would you please come up?
Yeah, I'm going to say call.
You were president last year, the last 2017-18. And would the rest of the members please come up? We have quite a few members here tonight. And these are the great cooks of Oldsmar, you know that.
Dean knows that.
The Women's Club recently had a garage sale at Jessica Opit's house, and I went over there to help them one day, and when I walked into their house, the house was full of donations from people in the community, the living room, the hallways, their bedroom, their kitchen, everything. Their house was packed with donations, and they had a very successful garage sale. So congratulations. You guys do a great job, and thank you so much for all you do for the city of Oldsmar. We are blessed to have you here in our city. Where do you want us to go know, there's still a lot of people here.
Yeah. Somebody squish.
I don't know if we can hire her standing.
They need to get over more that way.
Hey, you're an honorary member.
Come on. You can't help it. Leave them alone. This is for your grandchildren.
Get behind me.
Oh.
Hold on.
Shining light on the right side of that phone.
Where's your word? You want it higher?
There you go. Okay, hold that pose. Okay.
We're done?
Thank you.
You done ramming him down the stairs.
That was all good.
We almost lost 2 charter members in one.
My wife says I am.
Our next item is the business of the quarter, and Mr. Saraki will do that.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm excited to present the first, the business quarter of the year to A1 Recovery. Aaron Watkins, would you come on up here, please? Aaron, congratulations. Aaron's a tough guy to find, but I found him. I went over to his shop and met his wife, Megan. And she got him here tonight, and I'm honored that you're here, and I'm honored to give you this award. Aaron's company is a towing company, A1 Recovery, and he services Pinellas County, Pasco County, and Hillsborough County, and has over a fleet of over 25 vehicles, correct?
Correct.
The first time I met Aaron was back in 2009. We had a problem at our community pool. We had people parking overnight at our community pool, and the current company that we had wasn't really taking care of that job to keep those cars out of our parking lot. So when I became the president of the HOA in 2009, I was looking for a company that was in Oldsmar. I wanted to give back to the community, and that was the first time I met Aaron. Well, Aaron came in with his tow trucks and took care of everything. Well, the next couple days I had some phone calls from neighbors, but I explained to them the signs were out there, and Aaron was very helpful, and that whole problem is over with. And now I would like to bring up somebody very special, because this is another reason why Aaron is here. I want to bring up our fire chief, Dean O'Neill. He is going to tell a short story about what Aaron has done for our community. Thank you, Dean.
One of the things that we do for training quite a bit is we do vehicle extrication, and it takes a lot of time and equipment. You're buying some new stuff for us after October 1st, thank you. For somebody. And Aaron has, over the last several years, graciously donated vehicles to the fire department for us to use. And just recently we did a 3-week training seminar where we actually had 3 vehicles brought to the fire station. We turned one upside down, we laid one on its side, and we crushed the other one, and we spent 3 weeks training on the basics, how to stabilize vehicles, how to cut vehicles up, and how to move them around so we could get into the patients. And he's done this for the last several years, and often at times have called and said, hey, we've got a couple of cars over here in the yard. You want to come over? We'll drive the trucks over there and spend some time training with it, saving us literally thousands of dollars for us being able to grab those vehicles from other places. So it's great that he's here in town. One of the other things he has done for us is he's been our go-to person for all of our emergency lighting for our emergency vehicles. And one of the things we looked at was, you know, it's an emergency vehicle, it has nice lights on it, they break down. And it's nice to be able to go somewhere, walk in, they take a look at it and go, we can fix this. And I will tell you many times they've not only fixed it, they've enhanced it a little bit, and never charged us to do that. So from the fire department, men and women do all the training out there, we just wanted to say thank you and thought this was a great time to do it.
Thank you, Dean.
Thank you.
All right, Aaron. Oldsmar Business of the Quarter Award of Recognition presented to A1 Recovery 2018 second quarter. Aaron, congratulations.
Thank you.
Excellent. Anything else? Would you like to say anything real quick about your company? You're good? You're okay? All right, we're good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Good.
Here we go. Should we give him a list of our license plates so that? Aaron, should we give you a list of our license plates?
So you don't.
I'm a litlittle concerned about all the cars over at Harbor Palms ending up over at the fire station. They didn't say where the cars came from.
Right. Extrication. All right, congratulations. Our next item is to appoint Alex Bonucci to the planning board as a team member. Alex?
If you don't want to sing, you don't have to.
But it is this time it is the dancing.
The dance, we do the dance, so you could, whichever you would like to do and show us your mad skills.
I'm fine, thank you, though.
Who do you got with you?
That's my mom.
Hi, Mom. You can come on up if you want.
She's going to make her dance.
Ma'am, you can have your picture taken with him. Come on up.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, and if we don't, I know your mom will brag about you, so. And why you want to be on this board. That'd be great.
So I live in Oldsmar, obviously.
Where do you go to school?
East Lake High.
Oh, very cool.
Good school.
Nice.
Good school.
Now going into a sophomore.
Very good. What made you want to be on this board?
I'm pursuing a career in running my own business.
Awesome. Where did you learn about it?
Oh, while visiting at Relay for Life, working with my mom.
Awesome.
And her team.
How long have you lived in the area?
All of my life, so 15 years.
How many?
15 years.
15. I was just seeing if you knew the math. So. East Lake High School is a good school, but you know.
It's a good school.
Well, we thank you. Mom, what about you? Tell us a little bit more about him.
What about him?
We got a lot of time to fill tonight. You got more kids, we can bring them up.
We didn't bring him with us, though. Kept it quiet tonight.
Well, I got to be honest, though, and I say this, it's great to see the kids involved. I say this when we do our ceremonies down at the park for Veterans and Memorial Day, and that the parents really want to get their kids involved because there's a lot of bad things that they can get involved in. So we really do appreciate that and hope you have a good time on that. That's a tough board you're on there, so you'll keep them in line, right? How many teams do we have on that board?
There's two.
Two.
And your daughter is one of them, so yeah. Do you know her daughter?
No.
Okay.
Well, you will.
You will.
You will.
One of your goals should be able to set where he's sitting.
Yeah. You want to do it now? I can get up and go. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Anybody else have any questions?
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
We appreciate your mom for bringing him here. And, you know, I know whenever a kid's involved in anything, whether it's sports or activities or things at the school or this, that, you know, it requires a commitment from the parents too. So we thank you for that. So,
Motion?
yep, I need a motion.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, Alex?
Aye.
Thanks, Alex.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome to the family. City Attorney.
I don't have anything for you tonight, thank you.
Our city attorney, we almost lost down the ramp over there. Lost him down the ramp and the other one down the stairs, so that would have been interesting. That'd have been a story, huh, Jeff? City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. Item 10 is approve use agreements with Oldsmar Falcons Youth Football and Cheerleading, Inc. and Oldsmar Youth Soccer Association, Inc. The City of Oldsmar partners with youth sports organizations to provide recreation-based sports activities at the Oldsmar Sports Complex. This item recommends the approval of the two agreements that utilize the rectangular fields, fields 1, 2, and 3, located in the northwest portion of the complex. I'm going to ask Assistant City Manager Felicia Donnelly to come up and address kind of in summary form the changes in the renewal from the last contract. Felicia?
Good evening.
Good evening.
This is an annual agreement with the Oldsmar Youth Soccer and the Falcons, two different agreements, same agenda item. The only differences from last year are just that we equalize their costs for the electricity based on their field usage. So the Oldsmar Soccer is going to be paying 50%, and then the Falcons will be paying 25% of the electrical complex, or of the electrical bills for the complex. There was some other language changes, so really we just cleaned up the language. We added several items that had to do with marketing partnerships that weren't captured in the agreements previously. So that was their shared responsibilities. For an example, Oldsmar Soccer is agreeing to give us their highest level of sponsorship since they sell sponsorships so that we can get recognition. And then on the other side, we've agreed to help them with registration and promoting their open registrations through our avenues. So there's several items that pertain to that. The other ones are really just kind of just cleanup items. Any questions?
This was prior to you, but I know in the past, and it's been several years, we at one point had issues with the Oldsmar Falcons, more so the parents. I don't know if that's ever been a problem anymore. It was probably before your time, but as parents do, they seem to be the one that cause the problems out there.
I haven't had any experience in the year plus that I've been here that was negative with either group.
Good.
I think that they're both really good partners and their membership seem to be growing.
Good, that's even better.
The problem we actually had down there was not so much as the adults that was running the thing, but the people that came down to watch it got into a brawl and a fight.
Yeah, we had quite a bit of that.
I think we're seeing in an industry for youth sports a little tightening on the behavioral issues associated especially with the spectators or parents.
May I ask you? I want to ask you a question. How much of the sponsorships and what is a sponsorship? I know what a sponsorship is, but what is a sponsorship for them?
So Oldsmar Soccer has they have a selection of different sponsorship bases, and I'm not sure, we just asked for their highest one. So Councilmember Beaverland, I just don't have that information. We said we want to be your premier sponsor, and whatever you're giving somebody else, we want as far as recognition.
Well, what is it? Is the sponsor a banner out there? Or what?
Correct. So it's banners, it's logos, it's that we're going to be on all of their press releases and their communications.
Can you find out what a low sponsorship is?
Sure, I can.
Because we have a banner at the Little League, and it might be a good idea to have a banner at the Saucus.
Yeah, absolutely. We will have banners at both complexes.
I mean from the council itself.
Yes.
Oh, a council banner.
Mm-hmm.
Did we? I had never seen it, the one at the baseball field.
It's there.
Yeah, it's not up yet, but I sent a follow-up email.
Okay, can we get, when we hang it, maybe we can get a picture so we.
Yeah, we need to, and you also inform them that with that, they have to give us a
You gotta give us a shirt, is that where you're going?
I will request a shirt. I can't promise, though, and they're not here.
But the council has promised that we're going to get a shirt.
I will pass that along.
Yeah. Anything else? You need a motion?
So move.
Second? Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Yes.
Aye. And I don't want to point anything out, Al, but as soon as we went to city manager and Alex left, so did everybody else. I'm just pointing that.
Good.
Next.
All right, sir, with that raging endorsement, let's keep moving right along. Item number 11, adopt resolution 2018-09, revising the fiscal year 2017-18 annual budget. Attached, you'll find the resolution that I just mentioned, which is the revision of the annual budget for the current fiscal year. Right now, the general fund and public safety fund Public Safety Impact Fund will require adjustment at this time. I will read the resolution by title only. Resolution 2018-09, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Oldsmar, Florida, revising the budget for fiscal year beginning October 1, 2017 and ending September 30th, 2018, authorizing the city manager and the director of administrative services to revise the existing budget. That's the reading of Resolution 2018-09. I am available to answer any questions.
Any questions?
No.
No. All good? If not, need a motion?
So moved.
Second? Second. Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Yes.
Aye. 5-0. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Item 12 is adopt Resolution 2018-10, the legal defeasance of the 1990 series water and sewer bonds. Try and summarize that as quickly as I can. Asking council approval to adopt a resolution aforementioned, allowing the city's contribution of not to exceed $1,450,000 and available water and sewer system utility funds into an irrevocable escrow account for the purpose of a legal defeasance of all outstanding Series 1990 water and sewer system refunding and improvement revenue bonds. I will read the resolution by title only, and I will attempt to explain what this is. Resolution number 2018-010, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Oldsmar, Florida, authorizing the cash legal defeasance of all of the city's outstanding water and sewer system refunding and improvement revenue bonds, Series 1990, approving the form and delivery of an escrow deposit agreement, appointing the escrow agent, providing certain other matters in connection therewith, and providing an effective date. Mayor and Council, that's the reading of resolution number 2018-010. The best thing I can do for a summary would simply be to say we are taking funds we already have and we are putting them in escrow to pay the remaining 2.5 payments that we have on the 90 series, which is close to 30 years old. The purpose of doing that is to free up some room on the balance sheet because we are anticipating taking on some debt in the Water and Sewer Enterprise Fund for the Harbor Palms project, and each piece of debt you take has a qualifying, it's called a bond coverage ratio. So if you held the bond's not being paid off early if you're a bondholder, which is a good thing because the bonds have been around for a long time and the yield on them is very attractive. So I could see the bondholders calling and yelling at me if we pay them off early. It wasn't even an option. What we're doing is taking the funds for it, placing them in escrow so that those payments will be made, but we're removing it from our current balance sheet, which then allows us to be evaluated for any future debt with the room created by the debt service figure going away.
What's that figure?
The figure is $550,000 per year. The total of what we're putting in escrow is $1,450,000. There are approximately $10,000 to $15,000 in expenses, but since the funds will be invested in what's called slugs, that's one of my favorite investment terms, state and local government securities, what the escrow agent will do is will invest on slugs that will match the maturity of when the payments have to be made. With that in mind, with current rates, we're actually going to save, because the amount of the payments will be more than $1,450,000, we're going to save a little money, and we'll save more money than we'll pay to them for doing it. So we're making a tiny bit of money, not material, but so from an economic standpoint, I would argue it's a good thing to do.
All right, no arguments here. Any other questions, comments? Need a motion? Second, motion and a second. All those in favor?
Yes.
Aye. 5-0. That's it. City Clerk?
Oh, I don't have anything.
City Council. We'll start with Councilmember Beaverland.
Thank you for who you are.
I reserve the right to. We are treading in record territory here. Duly noted, Joe. Councilmember McGee.
A couple things. Congrats to Dean on the Lifetime Achievement Award. I'm sorry I was out of town and missed it, but much deserved. Everyone have a happy, safe 4th of July, since we will not be having the meeting that week. And then just an update. It was brought to my attention an establishment in West Oldsmar that appeared to be in county sign code violation, and spoke with Al about it. Appears that code enforcement was out there, I think yesterday or today, so looking forward to getting a report back on that property. Some residents had some really great suggestions Obviously, because it's unincorporated, there's limited things we can do. However, one of them was a suggestion about the medians, just overall about enhancing West Oldsmar, especially with the new townhome development and the Memorial Bridge. And I really like the idea, and there is potential for a future contract to maintain the medians potentially, or even Al suggested a beautification grant that might be possible. So further details to come there, but also around the beautification grant, when I was driving over the bridge the other day, I started thinking it really could use a fresh coat of paint. And I don't know if that's something that might also be part of the beautification grant, but now that it's, you know, in memory of Frank Gross, I thought it might be nice to clean it up a bit too, especially since it will be an entrance into Oldsmar, if that's possible. So that's all I have.
Thank you. I did actually drive, I didn't know that code enforcement had been out there, but I saw the guy out there messing with the sign. I don't know if he was taking that green dollar sign thing off of it, because now all of a sudden I saw a bunch of cameras, which may have been hiding, the dollar sign might have been hiding the cameras. I don't know. Okay. So I'll have to look a little bit better when I drive by tomorrow. So anything else?
No, that's it. Thank you.
Councilmember Sarecki.
Thank you, Mayor. Gabby, thank you for doing that, you know, taking, you know, charge and seeing if you need any help, I'm ready to help you with anything you need.
Yeah, well, I appreciate Al called up to some folks too, and I, you know, submitted a code enforcement complaint on the website, and I think a few residents did too, and, you know.
Well, I definitely like the idea of the grant process, so like I said, I'll be glad to help you. And the only thing I have is congratulations to Dean. Glad I was there to see that award from the Chamber of Commerce. You're going to be missed, buddy. That's all I can say, and congratulations on your new adventure in life. Thank you for all you've done for our city. Greatly appreciate everything you've done. Thank you. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you. Vice Mayor?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm sure some of you saw in the paper the other day where Dunedin and a couple of other cities are being proactive when it comes to their zoning for medical marijuana, specifically for pharmacies. I was curious if Tom maybe could share with us a little bit of what they're doing and whether or not it might be something we want to kind of consider, because the moratorium will, I'm assuming eventually will run out that we have.
Yeah, the city is very concerned, the city of Dunedin has been very concerned about having dispensaries in their downtown core. They have a zoning district they call their downtown core. It's basically their CRA. And they want to, in the last discussion that we had at the commission, was they wanted to pursue the review of establishing no pharmacy zones in either the downtown core or the Dunedin Causeway area. And the reasons why they're focusing on that is because, unfortunately, when the law regarding medical marijuana was approved, it basically said that the cities are limited to doing two things. They can either regulate medical marijuana dispensary facilities exactly like a pharmacy, or they can ban it. And I know that we've had those discussions before about it. So the approach that Dunedin is looking into right now is to, first of all, reestablish their moratorium because it's about to expire at the end of the month. And then second of all, consider establishing no pharmacy zones in certain areas of the city, their downtown core and their causeway. If they prohibit pharmacies in those areas, then medical marijuana dispensary facilities can't be in those areas. And then otherwise, it would basically open them up to every other zone within the city. So
You could have a pharmacy.
Didn't we do something like that?
Pharmacy.
Didn't we do something?
We did a moratorium
like
only.
Just did a moratorium.
Ours will expire. I don't know when, but.
So, Tom,
it has expired?
No, I said it will at some point.
in our case, since obviously we're a smaller city, would just the existing pharmacies be grandfathered in if we establish these no pharmacy zones, or would we have to work around what we already have?
Yeah, in the areas that they're talking about, they don't currently have pharmacies, but if there was a pharmacy in their downtown core or on their causeway, it would be grandfathered, and so that particular facility would be able to stay until it goes out of business, otherwise closes its doors. So if we had a pharmacy downtown here and you wanted to do this a no pharmacy zone, that one would be protected, but otherwise they wouldn't be allowed to.
I think we should do that.
Put in here. So the planning staff there is reviewing it. The city manager is also reviewing what other cities are doing in the area. There are some cities that have just said, you know, we're going to allow it to happen. We're not going to try to ban it.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but part of the moratorium, and I don't mean to jump on your thing, but part of the moratorium for us was to see what other people start to do, whether it's the county or the state or what have you. And I did have had dialogue with Mayor Bajowski, and the problem is you got that hospital right there, you know, and so I don't know where the downtown core, what the limits are, but.
it includes the hospital, but the hospital does not have an internal pharmacy.
Right. But you would think somebody having one in
Do
proximity.
we have any pharmacies? I don't think we do, right, currently?
Not
have
right
pharmacies.
downtown, but we have them within a
Yeah.
certain mile.
Like
of-
Walgreens and CVS and
And there's a-
Publix.
And there's another one, I think.
Well, we don't
as
have a
well.
Publix, so.
Oh, yeah.
And
Walmart.
there's one over by Aldi's
Walmart.
and Walmart.
I mention it only because I think we should maybe start to think about that moratorium eventually is going to come to an end. I mean, we can renew it, of course, but if nothing else, start to think about establishing where the pharmacy zoning area, where pharmacies are permitted or where they're not permitted. I'm just bringing it up for discussion.
I'm glad you bring it up, and maybe Marie can address this too, because it was something that also kind of occurred to me when I saw the business, you know, with the signage in West Oldsmar, was about gun sales near our schools or within our downtowns. You know, pawn shops do sell guns. And so I know we're considering breweries and things of that nature, but maybe potentially as we think about medical marijuana, maybe we should also consider about gun sales as well. And I don't know if, Marie, in the CRA, we currently, what current businesses do we currently not allow in the CRA? Isn't it pawn shops?
Pawn shops and gun sales, et cetera.
Okay, but only in the CRA.
Yes, and along Tampa Road, we said it can't be, you know, a primary street, it has to be a secondary street for gun sales. The one that's on First Lakes Plaza, that kind of got in under the gun, so to speak.
Clever.
Medical marijuana thing, I thought we banned it.
We did, we prohibited medical marijuana, so there's no
We're not under a
moratorium.
Okay, it's banned.
Yeah, well, we said that
Same
the
thing, but it's
local
in-
cities had close enough facilities that were convenient.
Oh, I recall. I was just,
Yeah.
for some reason, I thought we put it under a
You
moratorium.
felt that, you know, in the event you
could
know,
go back
time
and
passed,
revisit.
if something else changed, you could
can
come back
always
and
revisit
revisit it.
Right.
So it's basically
Currently,
a
it's not
moratorium.
an issue.
It's a
All
moratorium
right,
with
moving
no.
on. The next item I have, Mr. Mayor. Thank you. The next item I have, Mr. Mayor. Where do we stand with getting the sandbag equipment?
It's here.
It's here.
Oh,
It got here yesterday?
Well, there you go.
All right, we're bagging some sand.
Yesterday? What did you say?
Can I make a
Somebody called me and said we got it yesterday.
I make a suggestion. I think it'd be a good idea as part of promoting hurricane preparation and everything to our citizens, that we promote that we've done this and made this investment for the cities to make that process easier when hopefully we won't have to use it, but I just thought it would be a good idea.
yeah.
I
kind of a
think it's a
PSA.
cool machine. I don't know.
Ribbon cutting ceremony.
That's
Kind of PSA.
We'll be out there
Tie-off
making,
ceremony.
that's it. We'll be out there making
Let every
sandbags.
resident bag one sandbag.
Yeah, we'll cut it at the same time they drop them.
Did we have, I don't think we ever had Representative Grant come give the council an update after the session, did we?
I don't think we did.
No, I don't.
Wow, what was that like?
Sir, well, what would he say? What would any of them say?
Well-
But no, to your point, no, we haven't. Sorry.
After Tuesday, after,
Tuesday, you may not want to come back.
well, I was there Tuesday night. It was pretty rough.
Yeah, I wish I would have been there.
It was actually, he did pretty good.
I have a conference call.
Amy
with him
did
tomorrow.
great.
I'm
Why
fine
don't you
with it.
see, I mean,
He would do it.
we've done it in the past, and regardless of what election's going on, doesn't matter.
Well, and to your point, that's why I brought up the Senator Brandis thing. I mean, it's not much different than the Jamie Grant deal. You know, I mean, you had 20 some odd mayors in Pinellas County that threw some pretty hardy questions and similar to the ones that we've done to Jamie. And so I'm fine. I think it'd be
Bring it
great.
up to him, see if you can't
I
get
will.
that scheduled. I think it'd be.
I'm sorry
fun.
for laughing.
Yeah. It's pretty bad when the city manager can't control themselves. They have to laugh so bad. Last is congratulations, Dean. Thank you for all your service. The award's well-deserved. Sorry I couldn't be there. I was out of town. But you will certainly be missed, and your years of service is greatly appreciated. Good luck to you, okay? And happy 4th of July. That's it.
I don't have a whole lot. I was at the ceremony and actually got to introduce Dean, and give him the award, and much deserved, absolutely. And, you know, a lot of your staff was there, the ones that weren't out fighting fires, and you've done a great service for this city, as have a lot of our fire chiefs. I think, you know, the one thing that we pride ourselves on as a city is, you know, I think people want to come work here because it is such a great city. Hello, city of Clearwater, city of Largo. So, you know, I mean, some people struggle to keep people, but I think it's great, and it's a tribute to our previous leadership, our current leadership, and that applies to both the city and the fire department. So much deserved, and a little jealous of where you're going out there. I've already done street views of where the fire department is, and there's a cool little brewery right across the street.
Have a council breaking in.
Yeah. Can we make that our sister city? We don't have one. Can we make that? Oh, we do?
Yeah, Slidell, Louisiana.
Oh, Slidell. Okay.
Slidell, that's right.
Other than that, the chamber provided me something because they have their big chamber event going on tonight. They have a Summerfest of racing and music. It's Saturday, June 30th, noon to 10 p.m., Tampa Bay Downs. Seafood Festival 5 to 9. It is the Superstars and the Black Honkies. And this, I was not able to make it last year, but I heard this was a great hit. The Gorky races, they probably had 50 little Gorkies out there racing on the track, and it was pretty funny from what I understand. So, and thank you to all the sponsors. I don't have anything else. Happy 4th of July. Anybody else have anything for the good of the cause, Mr. Beaverland?
Well, since you brought up hurricanes, real quick, if you go over the bridge, West Oldsmar, I think I may have said this before, but look over right, and you'll see one of the barges.
Oh, yeah.
That was during the 1921 hurricane, came from the, Tampa, the port. And that's one of the barges that was brought over here during the hurricane. And you couldn't get that barge underneath the bridge. It had to come from over there then. And the barge is steel framed and concrete top, and it's huge. Anyway, if you get a chance, look over there. That's one of the barges that came from the Tampa port during the 1921 hurricane.
Wow, that's between the 580 bridge and the railroad tracks up there? Yeah, I've seen that. I didn't know that's how long it had been sitting there.
That's what it is.
You're asking too much to remove it, I guess, huh? Yeah. It's probably a fish colony by now.
You can't move it out now.
Probably sediment and everything else, so. Anything else? Nope.